So this one's a bit half-baked, but one thing I just want to, sometimes just talking aloud about something, even, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about a lot of things, and so I feel like I'm not just, opening my mouth and motoring to nowhere, even if it sounds that way. Sometimes I kind of do, but sometimes just simply talking something, putting it out there, or whatever, is part of the process of contemplating it, of discovering what the what the gold in it is. What's the golden nugget of this? So yeah. Anyways, I found that when I'm doing right, when I'm doing the right things, like it feels this way, and my spirits, I think, are impressing this on me, that when I'm doing things the right way, I'll see all kinds of hot women. I don't mean like when you go to the mall and it's just where a lot of pretty girls congregate. Although even going to the mall, it'll be, there'll be a message from the universe. But just walking down the street or going places I always go, and then, yeah, it's like that basically. I also felt at other times that when I would see, basically a pretty girl every once in a while, and typically the attraction would be a lot stronger. And I really try and notice who's around me. Partially because I've been getting stalked in the past, and partially because my dad impressed on me to be like, almost have this like military readiness at all times. So I don't know. I think that's actually super harmful. But yeah, it's super harmful to not be able to turn it off, or to be compelled to it, or to actually sort of have this delusion that someone's always trying to hurt you. It's like the film, someone's always, you go to a big city or anywhere really, and there's always someone trying to do something bad to you. That's sort of that's a bit too much, but I think always being ready and like situationally aware is a good thing. I'm glad that was sort of impressed on me from a pretty young age. Now, a lot of people never gain that, and so like lately I've been seeing a lot more pretty girls, and ones who are quite interested in me, it seems, in situations. So I think why this happens, I have a feeling that everyone has something like this, where they can know when they're on their true path based on certain manifestations. And it's something, I think these manifestations, it's something stupid that, not stupid, but something ancillary. It's maybe something you can't exactly touch. But it's there for you. Like, I think this is where some people who have like schizophrenia can really go off the rails, is because they see a manifestation that's basically a picture to them. It's almost more like a subliminal message from the universe or something. I don't know. Not actually clear on the meaning of subliminal. I mean, I know the dictionary definition, or I have some familiarity, but with that, but like, I don't exactly know what it means per se. So, that's one thing that I had to get over too, because I could recognize spirits were trying to communicate something, but I didn't understand it. It was more obtuse than I thought. I think I also fell prey a little bit to a little bit of an ego trap of like, every little thing. I'm not just talking about women here, but especially, I think it was even worse with like possible business opportunities, or, any kind of expansion of the self, of like, okay, you go here, and in a few years it could be, whereas in life you mostly, you really have to wait out everything. A lot of times you have to wait things out before they start going right. I think a lot of, like, in the movies, right? Someone joins a company and they're like the CEO at the end of the movie, you know. But in reality, and that gives, I think that gives anyone the impression, gives me the impression that, like, you know, over one kind of, at the completion of one small, like, short karmic cycle, you can go from you know, being a street urchin to, you know, ruling the world. And spirits will hype you up on this too. I don't know if it's completely a trap or if there's some truth to it and it's just not really practical or what. I know I'm not the only person that gets this either. Anyways, the reason why my, you know, manifestations are going along those lines is because I have Venus in the 7th house. So this means this is showing me, like, you know, marriage, relationship, other half, also enemies. But I think because it's Venus in the 7th house, it's not so much giving me enemies and maybe some other themes. It's really giving off marriage, you know, other half type thing. So I would suppose, I wouldn't be surprised if then, depending on where Venus is in your chart, and depending on where Venus is in anybody's chart, that it'll produce manifestations of such kind, about where you are on your path. And that's sort of a spiritual manifestation of Venus. Venus is, you know, sort of the woman in your life, or if for a woman it's she can see it as herself. You know, it's love in general, but it's also this very particular spirituality. I like the Vedic archetypes, the Vedic information about astrology a lot more, because you can just you can squeeze a lot more juice out of it. You can squeeze a lot more knowledge and really wisdom out of it compared to Western. I don't like Western nearly as much. I think Jyotish will more quickly sort of expose to the infinitely multifaceted nature of astrology compared to Western. Though I think I should focus on Western a little bit more than I have been. So there's that. Anyways, my one maybe doubt about this notion is that maybe what I'm seeing is that I'm pleasing the planet Venus in my chart, which does appear to be in a very critical spot in my particular chart. For someone else, well, first of all, for myself even, it may be that there's different manifestations I'm just not noticing because they're not as relevant to me, coming from, or not manifestations, but to say patterns more like coming from the other planets. And yeah, in someone else's chart, if a different planet is more critical and needing more of the person's attention, it may be that patterns will reproduce. They're more along the lines of those things. So it's a lot of layers. Yeah, good line of research for me to take up.